Y'all better hold onto your wigs, sip that tea slow, and brace your edges, 'cause what we just uncovered? Phew, messier than Kirk Frost's group chats on a Friday after dark. That so-called ride-or-die sisterhood between Yandy Smith and Rasheeda. Frost? Baby, faker than a BBL from a 2-for-1 IG ad. And who just pulled the curtain back with zero filter? None other than the queen of digital chaos herself, Tasha K. Now pause and think, why would Rasheeda, who cried real tears on national TV over Kirk's motel mess and secret kids, suddenly start throwing shade at the one woman who stood by her? When the internet was roasting her lace front into oblivion? What really went down behind the glitter and glam of love and hip-hop? Why did Rasheeda randomly flip the script with a "we ain't even close like that" vibe, after years of hot tub drama, baby mama cleanups, and sisterhood selfies? Buckle up, 'cause we've got leaked messages, burning receipts, and insiders saying this betrayal runs deeper than Rasheeda's patience for Kirk's nonsense. And yes, names will be named, games exposed, egos dragged, one wig snatch at a time. Stay locked in, because this ain't your average drama. This is a full-blown reality TV reckoning. So grab your popcorn, clutch your pearls, and settle in. We're about to unravel a friendship fallout that, let's be honest, maybe wasn't all that real in the first place. We're talking none other than Rasheeda's boss chick Frost and Yandy Everywoman Smith, two ladies who once seemed tighter than Rasheeda's ponytail in July heat. But behind the matching glam, backstage giggles, and those sisterhood speeches? A betrayal so shady, even Mona Scott would be like, wait, what? Enter, Tasha K. The messiest truth teller on the net. Your favorite blogger's biggest fear. The woman who doesn't knock, she barges into the tea room, drops the files, and leaves the door swinging. And when she poured this tea, baby, it came hot. No sugar, no filter, just full-blown scandal. Let's rewind. Season after season, we watched Yandy and Rasheeda weather chaos together. When Kirk got caught cheating again, who had Rasheeda's back? Not Candy. Not Carly. Not even Erica. It was Yandy. While Kirk was out here living like he was Future's backup dancer, it was Yandy wiping Rasheeda's tears, holding her down, and keeping her from looking completely lost on camera. But fast forward to this season, and suddenly Rasheeda's talking like Yandy was never even her friend. Huh? Like not, we drifted apart, or we had beef, but straight up, we were never cool. And on top of that, she said she's not about being friends just 'cause it looks good. Girl, are we talking about Yandy or projecting your own PR strategy? Let's keep it real, Yandy ain't everyone's fave. Some call her too polished, others say she's too calculated. But one thing nobody can deny. She rides for her people. When Kirk had Rasheeda looking like the saddest storyline on VH1, Yandy never clowned her. Not once. And how does Rasheeda repay her, sitting pretty in those confessional interviews beside Kendra Robinson, who, let's be real, looked like a courtroom-polished clone of Rasheeda herself? Rasheeda had the nerve to toss subtle shade. Like, oh, we not really friends. Baby, if shade was an Olympic sport, Rasheeda would have gold medals stacked higher than her wig closet. And just when you thought it couldn't get messier, guess who entered the group chat like a legal tornado? Yep, Tasha K. She didn't tiptoe in, she came swinging like a mic-dropping prosecutor and spilled receipts hotter than a groupie in Kirk's DMs. According to Tasha, Rasheeda's "we're not friends" comment wasn't some off-the-cuff slip, it was a full-blown PR move. A strategic attempt to distance herself from Yandy before fresh rumors about Mendices could hit the fan. Oh, yeah, we'll get to that flaming mess in a minute, but first, let's zoom in. Why would Rasheeda, a woman who built her whole brand on class, boutique management, and publicly forgiving Kirk about, 47 times, suddenly come for the only woman who held her down during all that televised humiliation? Well, word on the street, and by street, we mean Tasha K's inbox and her unnamed whistleblowers, is that Rasheeda was never really cool with Yandy's spotlight. Allegedly, she thought Yandy was too polished, too clean, too on brand. Translation? She thought sis was fake. Now here's the kicker, Rasheeda accusing someone else of being fake? That's rich coming from the woman who's been pretending she's in a fairy tale marriage while Kirk out here doing audition tapes for Maury. One insider told Tasha K straight up, Rasheeda always felt some type of way about Yandy. She thought the producers favored her, gave her more shine, even though she wasn't even from Atlanta. Meanwhile, Rasheeda was stuck each season doing damage control for her husband's bad decisions. Phew, and speaking of drama flashbacks, remember that wild scene with Jessica Dime? Let's rewind. Back when Rasheeda was beefing with a chick named Pressure P, rumored to be one of Kirk's many entanglements, Rasheeda did what she always does, she got up and walked away. But who stayed behind and actually threw hands to protect Rasheeda's dignity? Yep, Jessica Dime. The same Dime who had her own thing going on but risked it all to throw down over Rasheeda's chaos. Now fast forward, Yandy finds herself in that same ride-or-die position. The loyal friend who defended, protected, and stayed 10 toes down, only to get tossed aside like last season's press collection. Let's not forget, Yandy never once clowned Kirk, even when the whole internet was dragging his shiny earrings, secret kids, or his midnight hot tub hookups with strangers. Nothing but respect. But when Mendices popped up in that infamous Snapchat video, yes, the one with the Latina in leopard print, Rasheeda wasted no time tossing subtle digs and throwing shade. And then had the audacity to question if Yandy and Mendices were even legally married? Baby, if that ain't projection, I don't know what is. And here's the twist, Rasheeda's little shade moment with Kendra? It didn't feel off the cuff. It looked staged. Like the two of them had practiced it over brunch mimosas, like, okay, girl, I must say this, and you nod like I just dropped a truth bomb. Don't worry, we'll get into Kendra's copy-paste personality and her own man Jock's Instagram antics in part 3, because let's be clear, Kendra jumping in this mess when her own man's DMs look like a traffic jam on Peachtree Street? Girl. Be serious, but before we drag her into the mix, let's pause. Let's sit with that moment, the one that lit the internet ablaze. The scene where Rasheeda looked dead into the camera and said she doesn't want to be friends with Yandy just because it makes her look good. That line? It echoed across every blog, shook fans to their core, and had Twitter spinning in chaos. Things went from shady to scorched earth real fast, and guess who was already locked, loaded, and loud? Yup, Tasha K. In her signature uncensored, zero filter fashion, she went off. Rasheeda got a man who cheats annually, controls everything under his name, and she got the nerve to question someone else's loyalty? Girl, check your husband's Snapchat before coming for Yandy, I swear to God. She even joked that Kirk and Mendices should swap shows, at least Mendices knows how to keep his mess off the internet, but baby, this is just the surface scratch. Because what came next? Phew. Alleged cheating, Kendra's messy side-switching, and a possible love triangle twist that'll make you rethink everything you thought you knew about reality TV, friendship, and loyalty. So where were we? Oh right, in the middle of a love and hip-hop betrayal so messy it might as well be scripted. Part 1 gave you Rasheeda's friendship flip-flop from ride or die to a Yandy who? But now, we're stepping into the chaos tornado, because while Rasheeda was serving shade with a side of gaslighting, Kendra Robinson, Miss Attorney-at-Law turned Rasheeda 2.0, jumped in like someone rang the drama bell. Let's call it what it is. Kendra had no business inserting herself into Rasheeda and Yandy's fallout. Sis, your own man Lil Scrappy Jock is out here playing America's Next Top Cheater and you're concerned about other people's friendships? Be for real. But we'll circle back to her. First, let's get into the Snapchat scandal. Because this wasn't some fan-made rumor. This was the alleged trigger for Rasheeda's sudden switch-up. Word on the virtual block was that Mendices, Yandy's longtime boo and husbandish, hold that thought, posted a Snapchat of a Latina woman in tight leopard pants. And no, it wasn't inspo or fashion content. The woman's assets were center stage, and the caption? Something vague like a working briefcase. One snap, and the drama avalanche began. But Yandy? She handled it. Called it content, said she was aware, and that it was part of a social media project. Just like that, the story should've ended, but of course, Rasheeda enters stage left with a passive-aggressive grin and that, I'm just saying, energy. She casually dropped, "I don't even think they're legally married." Didn't she say something about never mailing the paperwork? Excuse me? Now we're discrediting marriages because your man can't stay loyal on a hotel budget. Let's be honest, Rasheeda never cared about Yandy's relationship status until hers started looking like a Lifetime original. And the best way to redirect attention from Kirk's annual cheating tour was to throw Yandy and Mendices under the bus. Classic reality show deflection. Look over their energy, but Tasha K? Never misses. She dug deep, deeper than fake apologies on a reunion couch. Allegedly, a former production assistant told her there was always tension. Rasheeda smiled for the cameras but didn't like how Yandy would step up for other women on the show. Translation? Rasheeda didn't like how Yandy took leadership and didn't ask for permission. That same source claimed Rasheeda felt overshadowed, especially when producers leaned into Yandy's polished rep while Rasheeda was forever stuck in damage control with Kirk storylines. So is this jealousy? Ego? Insecurity? Maybe all three. But what it wasn't, was real friendship. Now let's talk about that infamous "I never mailed the marriage certificate" moment. Yandy did admit, years ago, that though they had the full wedding, rings, vows, and all, she never filed the papers. Why? Strategy. She didn't want to be legally tied to Mendices' past legal drama. Smart move, actually, for a mom building a brand and raising kids, but Rasheeda? Miss, I forgave Kirk for side babies, groupies, and secret condos? She used that smart choice as ammo. Girl, you let Kirk Frost control your finances, your stores, your brand, and your throwing shade at Yandy for protecting hers? The irony is louder than Kendra's forehead under reunion lighting. Speaking of Kendra, let's discuss why she had the gall to co-sign Rasheeda's takes on loyalty and marriage. This is the same Kendra who's been in a back and forth, maybe divorce, with Lil Jock for what feels like a decade. The man admitted on TV he wasn't faithful, was late to the wedding, and flirted at the bachelor party. Jock treats commitment like it's a limited-time promo code, and Kendra wants to question Yandy's relationship? Girl.
Bye.
That's the thing about groupthink, you sit next to a mic long enough and suddenly think you the headline act. Kendra probably thought agreeing with Rasheeda made her look like a grown, bossed-up woman. All it did? Make her look like a backup dancer in a two-woman shade tour. Fans saw it too, fake tweets blew up. Kendra out here worried about Yandy's ring when Jock can't spell monogamy. And Rasheeda really thinks Yandy's marriage is fake. But Kirk's side baby was real enough for a Christmas card. Then, just when we thought it couldn't get pettier, Tasha K dropped a bomb in her live stream. She claimed Rasheeda had been shading Yandy for years. That this wasn't new, it was bottled-up jealousy. Because Yandy's brand is solid. Her man doesn't humiliate her every season. And that eats Rasheeda alive. Tasha even hinted that there might be texts and DMs, Rasheeda and other cast members mocking Yandy behind her back. Unconfirmed? Yes. But if true? Phew, and let's not forget, Yandy was also there for Kendra. When Jock had her ready to call off the wedding, it was Yandy who sat with her off camera, gave advice, and supported her. Now both Rasheeda and Kendra are tag-teaming her like this is Mean Girls, ATL edition. It's giving use her, then lose her. But here's what stings most, Yandy. She didn't even clap back. No shady Instagram posts. No messy subtweets. No slick confessionals, just silence. And that silence? Louder than any shade Rasheeda could ever throw. Because while Rasheeda is still defending a man who cheats like it's part of his skincare routine, Yandy is out here raising a family, running businesses, and minding her peace.